You think this is our second episode?
What?
This is our second episode of the show. Did you know that?
It is.
You forgot.
No, all I know is that I sit in front of this velvet microphone.
Every other Saturday or Monday for the past 3 years.
Yeah, 3.
Yep.
Ooh, I'm old. Okay.
This is episode 43, Sofia.
Hello, this is Sofia, and that's Corban over there. You can't see him because, yeah.
This is a podcast.
Huh? Yes. Okay. And that's why I'm talking to a microphone with a, This is velvet? I never knew that. I hate velvet.
We are very, very posh podcasters.
I hate velvet. Why'd you give me velvet? How long have I had this?
Like, for 30 episodes? Well, Sofia goes to contemplate her life.
All right. So it only took that long. Yeah. Where was I going? Oh yes, trees. So we don't take our Christmas tree down until like September because that's what happened last year. This year.
That was a very weird segue.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I don't do segues.
There totally was no cut there. That was literally how it was recorded. But speaking of segues, a segue to follow up. Or
a Segway in downtown that you're riding and then you flip off of it and then you gotta go to the hospital and that's a Segway over there.
Yes. We were watching some tourists downtown outside the building where I work, and one of them just drove straight into a bush and fell face first.
Oh, did you see the one who fell into the fountain?
I did not.
No. Or the one that face planted into the bushes?
It's like someone just needs to...
No. Face planted into the plants.
Yeah. Look, if someone stood out there with a camera, I'm sure you could like create at least
get like a time lapse of.
You could
people.
create a three weeks worth of failure compilation videos, like people on Segway compilation failure videos. I said that weird. Mm-hmm. You could create like 3 of those just by standing there for maybe a week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on to follow up. Our first piece of follow up is from a year ago, from last year's Christmas special, and that's like we said. Hey, we're going to make a video and post it on YouTube and talk about how we make paper snowflakes. We never did that.
I did it, okay? I did it. I made the snowflakes and he recorded it. He just never edited it or posted it, so that was his fault.
I don't know where that video went.
Exactly.
Anyway, so I half promise I'll do it this year if I have time.
I promise I'll do it.
Or you know what? We should bring some paper and just get those people at the Christmas party we're going to tonight to do it, and then post that instead and pretend like they're our fans.
Mm-hmm.
The whole scheme has been uncovered though by us saying that. Second and last piece of follow-up: if you're traveling, just a heads up, we did an episode 40, where we talked about our tips for traveling. So if you want to hear some of that, or you don't feel confident in traveling, which most people do right before they leave, they always like, I feel like I forgot something, and I'm going to figure out what it is as soon as I get where I'm going. If you have that feeling, go listen to episode 40.
No.
There's a link in the show notes.
I get that feeling when I'm back from my trip and I see the thingy that I was supposed to take.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I could have brought that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
All right, thoughts of the week. What do you have?
What is heavier, 200 pounds of bricks or 200 pounds of feathers? The answer is feathers, because 200 pounds of bricks is just 200 pounds of bricks. But if you try to carry 200 pounds of feathers, you'll always have to carry the weight of knowing what you did to those birds. It says, wow, that was deep. I didn't anticipate that. Feathers are always heavier than birds.
I have 2 thoughts of the week, just because they relate to each other so much. They're both related to Christmas films. So, The Grinch Stole Christmas.
It's a bad movie.
From the Who's, right? So the Who's in Whoville, right? Horton heard a Who, right? He found the Whoville on that little dandelion thing, right? Therefore, the Grinch is tiny.
Wait, so how come in the new remake of that movie, he was bigger than humans?
Yes, it's continuity errors. That's what Hollywood does to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They do it to their own lives.
Speaking of continuity errors, the Flintstones Christmas film takes place centuries before Christ was born.
You did not know that.
I know, but I'm just like pointing it out for people who have not realized it. Yeah.
But technically, the Flintstones didn't exist.
Okay, so I like to bring back public service announcement as a segment we used to have a long time ago back on the original show. I like to bring it back for our special, holiday episodes. Because I was listening back to last year's Christmas special just to make sure we didn't talk about the same things. And I heard myself make an offhanded comment about elves aren't getting paid for their work. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I really started thinking about it. I was like, wait, the elves are slaves to Santa. So I Googled it, and I found this website. I don't remember what it was called, but it was. I'll link it in the show notes. I have a link. And it's this elves.
For those of you who don't know what show notes are, don't worry. I don't know either, okay? It's fine.
It's where you can find the links of stuff we talked about.
Okay, where do you find that, though?
It's this website where kids can write letters to elves and people in the North Pole. And I found this one. It's an excerpt from this letter. This is an elf speaking. Money at the North Pole is a little different here than it is just about anywhere else. In America, people get paid in dollars. In Japan, they get paid in yen. But here in the North Pole, we get paid in Christmas cookies. Yes, it's true. They are the only currency we have or need. It seems to me like they were forced to write that little only currency we have or need. Okay, I think they were forced to write that by Santa Claus, who's trying not to have the word leak out about slavery in the North Pole. Then the elf goes on to describe the brutal working conditions, the low real estate values, the bad weather, the poor soil, no vacation, all this bad stuff that's been happening at the North Pole. When I was reading this, I felt like I was reading one of those Amazon warehouse working conditions exposed articles that you see all the time on the news, okay? I'm not going to say anything more about this than the last quote I saw at the end of the article. We don't spend a lot of time here worrying about money. Santa says that money and Christmas don't go together. I'm sorry, but that just sounds like it was forced to be written. The elves need help. Call your congressman.
But then again, Santa and elves ain't real, so...
Yeah.
Whatever.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Also, that is a joke. Attention, all that was a joke. For those of you who can't take jokes. Speaking of work, let's talk about the opposite of work. In this week's Learn a Word.
Slavery.
This
Wait,
week's
that's
word.
Not the opposite of work.
No.
The opposite of work is me.
Yes, it is very true right there. Truest statement. This week's word is bludge. Bludge. B-L-U-D-G-E.
Just so y'all know, he told me what the meaning of this word was, but I don't remember, so yeah.
It's like an Australian or New Zealand like slang word, which means to avoid work and responsibility. So basically just like to slack off, not do anything. Which is what a lot of people around this holiday season are doing. Just like, 2 weeks away, 2 weeks away from work, I'm not going to do anything.
Not if you do the 300 challenge.
Oh, yes. All you people in sports and exercise like Sofia.
Hey, I'm not in it anymore yet.
In it to win it.
What? No.
Well, because you broke your foot thing.
Yeah. It's, I can walk, but let's just say if you look at it, you'll fall.
Yes, you will.
Yes.
I don't want to talk about how bad her foot looks.
Yeah.
Well, I have a game. We all know that there's the name brand cereal and there's the store brand cereal. So the premise of the game is this. Sometimes you go on a streaming service such as Hoopla and you find these like remade movies, like you would say theater brand versions of the big Hollywood versions. For example, we have Maya the Bee Movie is a play on The Bee Movie. So, here's what we're going to do. I have 7 titles for you, all of which are either real movies or they're just adjusted titles, but you don't have to tell me if they're real or not. I'm going to tell you these titles, and you're going to have to tell me what the actual movie title is. If you get 5 out of 7, you win, and you get to watch A Christmas Wish with me. If you lose, if you get 4 out of 7, you'd lose, or so, you will have to watch La La Land trailer with me.
Okay, just so you know, not you, Corban, but the other people listening, okay?
Yes.
Just so y'all know, I don't like La La Land, okay?
Yes.
Okay?
She absolutely hates it.
Yes. Because that one little thing, okay? And then, what was the movie?
If we ever start
What was the movie you said?
A Christmas Wish.
Okay, that is also a very cliche movie, and I've already watched it like 8 times.
So good.
But it's better than La La Land.
Yes, it is.
By a lot.
Okay. Here we go. First one. All puppers go above. What is the real movie title?
Wait, I don't know the movie title word for word.
If you can get it close enough.
All dogs go to heaven or something like that?
You got it. Okay, ding ding. The Colonel Chipper. The Colonel Chipper.
Are these all Christmas movies?
No. They're just other movies.
I think I know what it is, but I don't know the name.
All of these are basically like synonyms. I've taken the words from the title and found synonyms for them in the thesaurus.
Wait, Chipper?
Yeah.
It's like Captain Crunch cereal?
No, so
I said cereal.
not like
cereal.
Not like chipper like a happy person, but like chipper like I chipped the rock or you chipped this piece of china.
Captain Hook?
No, it's the Nutcracker. Nutcracker.
Since when do kernels have to do anything with nuts?
So I saw in the thesaurus a synonym for nut is kernel. So Colonel Chipper instead of cracker. Okay. Next. This one is a little hard. Escape from slavery. Think about what I talked about earlier in the show.
You know I don't have memory.
Come on. Who's in slavery up at the North Pole?
Wait, what was the name of the thing?
Escape from slavery.
Elf?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Fa-fa time. Fa-fa time. You have one hint available for this one because I know it's a little hard.
Okay, hint.
Fa-fa is a puppet from Glove and Boots. His puppet, the animal his puppet is a groundhog. Fa-fa time.
Groundhog Day?
Yep.
Okay.
Next. Fa-fa farmland. With its sequel, Re-re-reef.
Re-re-reef?
Yep. Fa-fa farmland and its sequel, Re-re-reef.
Arthur Christmas?
Come on, how could you miss this one? It's La La Land.
Wait, La La Land has a sequel?
No. Okay, remember I'm coming with alternate names, alternate titles. Like if Hoopla created their own versions of the movie, these are the titles they would use. Okay, so it's like La La, Do Re Mi Fa So La Di Ta, or whatever it is. We got Fa Fa Farmland, and Do Re Reef.
Good on, I have a better one.
What is it?
Baba Band.
That's
Is Island.
That's not words. It's the trilogy. You have Ba. Wait, what did you say? I forgot what you said.
I said Baba Band and Is Island.
And Reef and Fa Farmland. Okay. You currently have 3. You need one more. You need to get either one of these last 2 to win. Or you need to get these last 2 to get it right. If you don't get these last 2 right, you are going to have to watch a La La Land trailer with me. Okay. Chop Kick Panda.
Kung Fu Panda.
Okay, that one's obvious. Last one. Help! I've shrunk the family.
Okay, that's actually a Hoopla movie.
It is an actual Hoopla movie because it's the remake of this popular Disney movie.
Wait, aren't there like 3 of those?
There's a trilogy of Disney movies that this Hoopla movie is based off of.
Yeah, isn't there like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
You got it.
Like
Okay. You don't
I
have
don't have to watch La La Land.
Okay. Well, we'll be watching A Christmas Wish tonight with me. You're going to have to watch it. Okay. Oh, let's move on to some jokes. Normally I would let Sofia go first, but since we were talking about La La Land right there, I just have a joke about that. So, I asked Sofia what she wanted for Christmas, and she said, nothing would make me happier than to have La La Land wiped off the face of the earth.
That is I never said that. That was in your dream.
But you wish you said that. So because
No. I still want it.
Because of that, I got her nothing. Okay.
I'll use your words against you one day.
I'm fine if it goes. I'll keep the soundtracks. There's plenty of good jazz out there. Deerdorf Peterson Group. Okay, now you can go.
If Mickey is short for Nicholas, then Mouse is short for Mouseless. And then the person said, my dog's name is Mickey Mouse. So, their real name is Nicholas Mouseless.
Since when is Mickey short for Nicholas?
It's called People Who Don't Know.
So Mickey.
But it's funny.
So Mickey on Doctor Who, his name is Nicholas?
Mm-hmm.
Nicholas and Rose. That doesn't sound right.
Nicholas and Rossless.
Oh no, that sounds terrible. Absolutely terrible.
And Sofia.
I got yelled at in LA today for singing Christmas carols. I guess they don't want to hear about how the weather outside is frightful and the fire is so delightful.
Ask me how my Christmas dinner was.
Sistren, how was your Christmas dinner?
Oh, we had Grandma for dinner. And turkey. How was yours?
Yeah. I programmed some lights for a concert with Grand MA console.
No, you don't get the pun. See, here's the thing. They meant to say we had Grandma over for dinner, but they were like, yeah, we had Grandma for dinner. You know, we had her here for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And we had turkey.
Everyone wants Garfield's grandma over for dinner.
Yeah, I guess.
I got my instant cranberry sauce. You ready? Close your eyes for like 3 seconds. You ready? Opens can, pours it in bowl. Open your eyes. Instant cranberry sauce. What's the difference between the Christmas alphabet and the normal alphabet? The Christmas alphabet has no L.
I knew it was something like that, but I couldn't think of the pun fast.
Yeah.
Darren remembers accompanying his father out shopping in the toy department of Hamley's One on Christmas Eve. The dad said, "What a marvelous train set. I'll buy it." And the girl behind the counter looked up pleased and said, "Great, I'm sure your son will really love it." And the dad replied with a glint in his eye, "Maybe you're right. I guess I'll buy too."
This has happened to me before when I'm shopping. Like one time I was at Target.
Oh, it's whenever you shop.
Well, one time I was given a
when we are walking around in a store not buying anything.
I pulled out. I don't remember what it was. It was some sort of like train set thing. Also, it was like a Thomas train set thing, and I was like, oh, I don't have this in my collection of Thomas stuff. Yes, I used to collect Thomas things.
Oh yes.
And I pulled it out and I asked the clerk and said, "How much does this cost?" And I said, and they gave me like, it was like $15. It was on sale compared to the normal train store price because we have a train store around here. Actually, I'm not sure if it's open anymore. Do you know?
Nope.
Anyway, so I go out to check out and the cashier's like, "Oh, I'm sure your little brother's going to love this." And I'm like, "Oh." I was like, I forgot about him.
Yeah.
I just went, "Yeah." Smile and nod, smile and nod.
And walk away very subtly.
Yes.
Do finger guns.
Pull out a fake phone and be like, "Hey, little brother, I got you a train set."
And he's standing next to you like,
"Why are you talking to your hand, brother?"
Yes.
All right. I crush cans for a living. It's so depressing.
It was just before Christmas. And the what now?
And the end.
No. It was just before Christmas. And the magistrate was in a happy mood. He asked the prisoner, who was in the dock, "What are you charged with?" And the prisoner replied, "Doing my Christmas shopping too early. And this is why you do not shop early. Thank you.
You will end up in jail.
Take adherence to this, okay?" I don't think that was used in the right context, but you know what I'm saying.
That's how it is when you're using new words.
Yes. So, he asked the prisoner, "What are you charged with?" And the prisoner replied, "Doing my Christmas shopping too early." And he said, "That's no crime. Just how early were you shopping?" And he said, just before the shop opened.
Oh.
Hey, you would have said that too.
Yes, I would have. Okay. As a scarecrow, people say I'm outstanding in my field. But hey, it's in my genes.
I don't wear jeans.
I don't either. Alright, now on to an upcoming holiday. Obviously, we have Christmas, that's on Monday. But Thursday, the 21st of December, the day this comes out, is International Dalek Remembrance Day. Yes, the Dalek. The maybe beloved, not so beloved, I don't know. I'm only 2 seasons into Doctor Who. Character or villain of the Doctor. So, arch nemesis, I guess you should say. Not the arch nemesis from Pegless Cat, but an arch nemesis. 2 people got that joke out there and they're laughing. Okay, for those of you who do not know what Doctor Who is, Wednesday the 27th of December is Make Cutout Snowflakes Day. So, again, I'm going to try to make that snowflake video with Sofia. If it does not happen, I'm sorry. Maybe we'll try again in 2018 if the show's still around.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of holidays and Christmas coming up, I just remembered this fun fact I saw this morning. When you're preparing your Christmas desserts and you're like all stressed out if you're going to get them done or they're going to look good or not, just remember that stressed is dessert spelled backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Dallas and salad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now on to Today I Learned. Do you have anything?
Rabbits jump, and they live for 8 years. Dogs run, and they live for 15 years. Turtles do nothing, and they live for 150 years. Lesson learned.
Oh, but then what's the point of living that long if you do nothing?
The point of living is to do nothing. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Just let's leave it there.
Okay. We'll just leave it there. Today I learned that Coca-Cola came up with Santa's red suit. Santa wore a variety of colorful suits throughout the years, including red, blue, white, and green, but legend has it that the popular image of his red coat came from the 1930s ad by Coca-Cola. So, in the same way, well, I'm saying all those advertising campaigns of Santa sitting there in his red suit with the penguins and polar bears. No, the penguins aren't up in the North Pole. It's all wrong. And Santa isn't real. So, that's wrong too. It's all fake news. Okay. Let's move on to a couple of advice and tips we've come up with for this Christmas season. Almost said holiday season, but I'm not going there. If you need to do some last minute shopping and you want to beat like the huge hordes of people that you will find at the store, consider shopping at 4 a.m. if where you need to go shop is open at that time. Don't, like Sofia said, don't go shopping before they're open.
Yes.
Yeah, don't do that. We used to shop at 4 a.m. at our local Walmart, and it's
we'd
like...
walk in there, everybody would be staring at us, and then we'd be like, we're homeschooled, and then they'd be like, but even if you're homeschooled, you're
like,
supposed
why
to be
you
asleep.
Yeah, you're supposed to...
Oh, we don't have an excuse for that. Well,
yeah.
we're wide awake.
We're serious. It's a very nice shopping experience at 4 a.m. Literally no one in the store. You go in, and you can get all your things, run through the aisles, whatever you want to do. It's very nice. Consider doing it. It's great.
If you're a YouTuber, you're recording your fails in Walmart or whatever. Notice I said fails.
Yes.
You won't have to do fails if you go out for you.
Yep. Also, if you're doing like mall shopping, if you're not buying your stuff online and you're actually going to go to a store or something, the Maps app on iPhones now has mall maps in them if you live in like major cities. So I know in our area, you can now access the mall map inside of it. So you're not like all confused like, wait, what's up? What's down? What floor am I on? It tracks you inside. So I have 2 questions for you, both posed by John Chris recently on his Instagram story. First one, is it better when going to a Christmas party to be underdressed or overdressed?
Underdressed.
I think it's overdressed because, like you said, if you're overdressed, you can sort of like take off stuff that makes you become overdressed or like downgrade.
Oh, yeah.
If you're underdressed, it looks like you don't care at all and you just like, I just showed up for this. If you're overdressed,
yeah,
it makes it look like you care too much. I don't know. There's downsides to both, but if you have to pick one, What do you say?
I guess overdressed.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Also, on Christmas parties, is it better to arrive early or late? Because if you're there early, you're just like sitting around.
Yes, but you can go find something to do. Where if you try to go late, like if you go late, then you just show up and everybody's like, "Ooh, they got there late," and they all see you.
But is there like a thing that's like fashionably late?
No, that's not a thing.
Yeah, I don't believe in fashionably late.
Yeah, there's certain people in certain places who call me fashionably late, and it's not because I'm fashionably late.
What about leaving parties? Is it better to leave them early or late? If you leave it early...
It depends. Well, is it a party or is it an event?
If it's like, well, both. What's your opinion on both?
Well, it depends. Like, if it's Taekwondo, you can leave late.
Well, I'm speaking like of Christmas parties.
You know, like, I don't know, a social, like, something that they don't have, like, a set time. They're not like, we're going to kick you out at a certain time. If they don't say that, then it's finally late.
But you got to take a hint from the person putting on the party, like, hey, it's like 2 a.m. already, and you're still sitting on my couch watching National Geographic.
Yeah, no. Like, if as soon as there's only like 10 people left, start, leaving. Start giving your goodbyes, and then you'll hint at other people to leave.
Hint, hint. You should probably go home now.
Yeah.
Pat, pat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now that we've decided both, we've decided it's better to arrive early and better to leave early, right? Is that what you're saying? Or late?
Yeah, arrive early and I guess leave early depending on.
So that's the best combination in your opinion?
Yeah. But it depends, you just gotta...
Because I've been early to events and I just stand outside. Like, I was early to a meeting once.
Because you're antisocial, okay?
I stood
When I arrive early, I have things to do.
I hid around the corner. I set my iPad underneath the bench, FaceTimed my phone, and watched until people started showing up. So I showed up right on time.
Wow.
I go to great lengths to avoid it anyway. So, a lot of controversy, shall we say, happens a lot in families during Christmas time, especially in our family where we can never decide what we want to watch. How do you decide? You can flip a coin, roll the dice, tell...
Or everybody could just watch their own movie.
Yes, but we don't do that.
I do that.
You do that, but that's not family. We were recently put in charge of games for an upcoming Christmas party that we are sort of helping out with. And we thought you can use these to decide who gets to pick the next movie.
Wait, what?
You can use these games to come up with who gets to pick the next movie, or to help you pick whoever, or just play for fun. The first one especially that I came up with is a good one for fun. So you can do Clue. Everyone knows the game Clue. Except draw a new board, and where the layout of the house that you're playing in is your house, or wherever you are. So draw it out. Find like a fire escape map or something, if you can find that. Base it off of that. Then replace all the weapons and characters with items in your house and the people who are playing. Then you have like a personalized version of Clue.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any games?
Learn how to do card tricks.
That's like a whole event. That's like a week's worth of work.
Oh. Well, yeah, but if you learn it, like if you just keep learning, like once you learn, if you search card tricks on like Google or something, and you go to like the first, second, or third result, and then you just learn like the beginner tricks, like basically all you have to do is learn the beginner ones, which are just like 10, and then like go on YouTube.
Isn't there like a YouTuber called Evan Era or something like that?
Oh yeah, but he just magic, not card tricks. No, there's this guy called A Million Card Tricks or something like that, A Million Tricks or something like that, on YouTube, and he teaches like if you watch his performance, because he does a performance and then he does a tutorial in the same video, and it's only like 6-minute video. That's how easy it is to learn. So, you just like you watch the performance and you're like, whoa, what happened there? And you're just like, what? And then you watch the tutorial and it's actually really easy.
There's also like pin the tail on the donkey. You have pin the nose on Rudolph. So that was a pretty clever idea. And classic musical chairs with Christmas music.
Oh, yes.
This year's Christmas special has been a little laid back. It's not as much as it was last year, but if you're looking for more to listen to, check out last year's Christmas special. Because we're coming to the end of the show, let's get to our recommendation of the week. Or, in this case, of the Christmas season. So, do you have a Christmas movie that you would recommend that people watch? It doesn't have to be a Christmas movie, but a movie. Last year on the Christmas special, you said that your favorite Christmas movie was The Dog Who Saved Christmas.
Okay, that was my favorite. That was the only one I watched that year.
Well, then I guess I'll speak for both of us in saying A Christmas Snow. The only Hallmark movie Corban, speaking in third person now, can watch.
I can watch Hallmark movies, but, like, if you're watching it with me, I'm going to spoil the whole movie within 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's like, they live happily ever after.
Mm-hmm. And the puppy.
Yeah,
There's always a puppy. If there's a child, okay, if there's a little kid in it, or there's a kid between the ages of 5 and 12, there's going to be a puppy in it, okay?
Yes, there will. Like, you can't have a Hallmark movie without a puppy.
Yeah.
You can do cats, just cats are so mean.
Mm-hmm.
They're not...
Cats, if there's an old lady, there's going to be a cat.
Yes. If there's an old man, he's going to be mean.
And he's going to have a dog.
But he's going to be very warm-hearted by the end of the movie.
Yes. Or he just didn't matter the whole entire time.
Acquaintance of ours, Bart Johnson, did a Hallmark Christmas movie. He said it was good. He said it wasn't cheesy. I don't know if I believe him. I haven't watched it yet, but you should probably watch it. Also, speaking of Bart Johnson, I didn't realize until today that Robin Lively, his wife, played the mother on Letters to God and the mother.
Okay, y'all don't know how many times I watched that movie.
Yes.
I watched that movie like 20,000 times.
I'm still scared of that movie.
No, like for real, I actually watched it like 20-something times.
Yeah, and we're coming up on like what? What is it now? 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016.
No. I'm saying in one year I watched it like
we're coming up on the 5-year anniversary of of you watching it for the first time.
Yeah.
That movie, I'm scared of it. I don't know why. I don't like watching that one. I get squeamish when I watch that movie. Here's
the thing. No matter how many times I read a book or I watch a movie, I never remember what it's about, ever.
It's sad.
I mean, it's actually good, though, because, like, people will be like, oh, I want to watch this movie, and they'll be like, oh, I already watched it, and then they'll be like, oh, okay, never mind, we'll watch something else, and then I'll just be like, no, we can watch it, because I don't remember what it was about. I just remember that I watched it.
Well, hopefully you didn't forget what we talked about this Christmas special. Merry Christmas to all of you Chips listening out there, and thank you for listening. If this was your first time listening, please subscribe. You can find the best way for you to subscribe at rta.space/listen. And heads up, we're now on Spotify. So if you like listening to your podcast in Spotify, we're there now. Or if you have a family member or someone who you want to introduce to the program, tell them to listen on Spotify if they like it. Also, if you have some time, drop by Apple Podcasts and leave us a rating and review. And if you have any suggestions for how we can improve or you want to send us some jokes, you can email us, rocket2anywhereshow@gmail.com, or you can tweet us at RTAShow on Twitter. Show notes for this week's episode, as always, are available at rta.space/43. And you can follow me on Twitter at Corban Garcia.
And me on Instagram at, let me think, Coolio Photography. Coolio_photography. Coolio with the KOOLIO_photography.
All right, well, we'll be back next year, 2018, with another episode of Rocket to Anywhere. But until then, this rocket
has landed.
Oh, well. Someone out there is laughing and the other one is someone else is just yelling, too soon, too soon.